So here's the history. My father's family, his brothers and sisters, they cover 2 generations. The greatest generation, those born between 1901 and 1924, and the silent generation, those born between 1924 and 1945. My Aunt Alice is the youngest of my dad's family. Now growing up, Alice was the cool one. Maybe it's because she had kids my age, or because she smoked. She had the long cigarettes, the 100s. She kept them and the lighter in a leather cigarette case that closed on top. Very sophisticated. My dad had stopped smoking before I was born, and my mom never smoked. So to me, this was radical and so cool. Now, Pete and I were quite young after World War II, so the changes didn't affect us as much as they did the older kids. Life went on pretty much the same. I guess the biggest change for us would have been the end of rationing. Gas, sugar, etc., which we were too young to be concerned with. We were no different than any other farm family. Being the youngest, the oldest, Jack, well, he was never like a brother to me because he was married before I was born. His oldest daughter is 13 days younger than I am. So we were more like cousins than aunt and niece. The biggest difference, I'd say, would be the education that I got between me and the older siblings. Life was practical. I got my first store-bought dress when I was 13 years old. I don't remember if it was for confirmation or a graduation from 8th grade, but that's the first time I got anything that was store-bought. Being the youngest, I got everything hand-me-down, if there was anything to hand down. One of Dad's cousins, who lived into town, who we took cream and eggs to once a week, well, she was pretty well-to-do, and we would get some of her cast-offs. Things that her family couldn't use. So you didn't know what you were missing. We were like any other family. We had our moments. One time, Pete and I were pretty close in age, less than 2 years apart, so we spent a lot of time playing together. And we had made these homemade bow and arrows out of twigs and string, and we had these tires and they were stacked up, and there was this U-shaped thing on top of the tire, and our goal was to put the arrow through the U-shaped thing. Well, it was my turn and I was going to shoot and Pete was going to be on the tire. No, don't worry, you're not going to hit me. Well, I did. It was actually pretty close to his eye. Of course, he run bawling into the house like he was really dying or something. It was just a little scratch. Of course, I got paddled because I wasn't supposed to shoot when he was in the tires. Well, I told him to get out.